Again, sorry for the delay. Pizza's out of the oven now, so we're good. But happy Monday and welcome to my live. For those of you that are new around here or don't know, I'm Megan from Megan Makes Do, and I go live every Monday around 4 o'clock to talk about something that usually has to do with being a maker, being a small business owner, being a mom. I think today's topic kind of covers a broad array of people. I'm sure most of you have felt this burnout feeling at least at one point in your life. I know I've felt it quite a few times. And so I'm really excited to talk about this because I feel like we can help each other, one, figure out just one, how to deal with burnout, and then two, how to avoid it. Because I feel like sometimes I can sense it coming and I can do something about it, and then other times it kind of just hits me all at once, kind of out of the blue, and throws me off course a little bit. But yeah, hopefully some more people will come. Hi, Natalie. Hopefully your Monday is going well. It's been a pretty Monday-ish Monday here. I know that it's Thanksgiving in Canada, so I hope some of my Canadian friends can hop on and join us, but if not, that's okay. This will definitely be on replay today for 24 hours. But yeah, burnout. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this topic was I've been kind of feeling a little burnout. Not in all areas of my life, not a whole thing, but definitely as far as social media goes. A couple weeks ago I was just kind of feeling like I'm done. I'm sick of trying so hard, and I'm sick of worrying so much about it. And so it was like, oh my gosh, I need to do something. I can't keep feeling this way. Hey, it's Monday. Yeah, it's a Monday. So my my daughter didn't have school today, so it was weird. I feel like me now not getting up and getting out of the house right away kind of throws me off a little bit. Now I feel like I'm more into the day and it's almost over. But hi to everyone who's joining. I'm so glad you guys are here. So today we're going to talk about burnout. And if you've felt burnout at any point in your life, throw up some hearts. Let me know that you're feeling the same way that I've felt or do feel sometimes. Like I was saying before, a couple weeks ago I was just feeling really burnt out about mostly Instagram. Just feeling oh my god, having to take pictures and edit pictures and think of things to say for my caption and do stories and do the lives. It was just feeling too much for me. I was oh my gosh, I can't even think about this anymore. It's too much work, it's too hard. Why am I doing this? And so that's why I suggested this topic. And I don't feel that way so much anymore. I feel like I'm I don't know, I'm okay with it now. I'm gonna keep doing it. But I definitely go through those waves of just feeling exhausted. A lot of the times it is things to do with my personal life. So being a mom, there are times where I'm I am burnt out from cooking. I don't want to cook one more thing. And then in my small business life where it's just oh my gosh, I'm doing this all on my own and it can be a lot sometimes, and I'm just exhausted and tired and I'm working too much. I need a break. Let's see, Detroit Nuts. Natalie, I just post when and what I want. That helps. Yeah. So it was funny because when I was feeling that way, it was a Friday afternoon. I had my kids at the park and we were just kind of playing. I was I haven't posted anything today. I was I should probably post. And so I just took a picture of what I was working on while I was at the park with my kids, and that post did amazingly well. I had so many impressions from hashtags and all these likes, and I was what the heck? And then here I was, a couple days earlier doing all these fancy photos, trying to make it look nice, and barely got any likes. So I was why? Why do I try so hard? It doesn't really matter. Post what and when you want. Yes, that's a good attitude, Natalie. You feel it now, Butter Biscuit Co. Oh no! Hopefully this will help you not feel so burnout. But just know you're not alone. I think a lot of us as makers, as small business owners, as parents, feel it a lot. Cereal for dinner. Yes. Yeah, I'm feeding my kids pizza at 4 o'clock. This is our lunch. So it's probably going to be dinner too. It's just on one of those days. But yeah, hopefully more people will join in soon. If not, that's okay. We'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about like what is burnout. Then we're going to talk about what to do when you feel burnout. And then last, we're going to talk about how to avoid burnout. So I am open, like, feel free to comment as I go, throw up some hearts, let me know how you're feeling about this topic, because I feel like a lot of us can relate to it. But yeah, so burnout. So usually you kind of know, but sometimes you don't. But burnout is basically when you're feeling exhausted or feeling just tired or defeated or helpless, or that you just have nothing left to give. You know, you're run down, you're irritable, you're short with your family or your kids. You know, you're cranky, you're cynical. Have any of you guys had those feelings? That can be a sign that you're about to burn out. And it's not a good feeling. It doesn't make you feel good. You feel empty, kind of. Like, I know for me, one of the first times I ever really experienced burnout was when I was student teaching. I remember coming home, it was like a Friday, and it had been a long, long week, and I was overwhelmed. I had a ton of work to do over the weekend, but I felt like almost numb inside. Like, I have no more feelings about this. I have no more excitement about this. I have no joy about this. And I was just like dumbfounded. Like, I didn't know what to do. And so I decided to do something that normally I wouldn't do. Like, normally I would push through and be like, okay, I'm gonna, get all this work done and then I'll feel better. But instead I was like, forget the work. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't do something for myself. So I went for a run, took a shower, then I went to Starbucks and just read a book. And I felt amazing afterwards. It was like just what I needed to kind of get me out of that burnout feeling, and then I was able to tackle the things I need to tackle. But I just remember feeling like just so numb, like honestly, like numb inside. Like, I had no excitement for my job at that point, and just, it was just kind of lost, like did not want to do anything. And so doing something for myself really helped with that burnout feeling. Now that doesn't always work, and I feel like I still haven't really learned my lesson as far as what to do to not feel burnout. Hi, Jennifer. But hopefully we can help each other. So if you've ever had those feelings where, maybe you're working too much, maybe, you're spending every spare second of your time on your small business or your full-time job if you have a full-time job, or taking care of your family or your kids or whatever it is. Like, if you're not spending any time for yourself, or you're not feeling any joy in what you do, and you're feeling cynical and just irritable and angry and frustrated, then you're probably burnt out, and you probably need to do something to get that burnout feeling to go away. And a lot of burnout is a lot of stress, and stress isn't good for you. It's not good for your family. And so it's really important to recognize burnout, and to do something to change it, because if you don't, it can just keep going downhill and lead to more significant problems. Whew. Okay, so now we talked about how awful burnout is. What can we do about it? And this is something that I still have a really hard time with, because I think, especially as a small business owner, I am realizing this about myself, that I am a little bit of a workaholic. And I don't like to admit that, but it's so true. Like, my husband even last night was like, I feel like the weekends have become you working and us hanging out, and we need to be more family time. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. And I don't know how many of you guys have ever felt this. Throw up some hearts if you have. And it feels weird to say this, but this is totally how I feel, is that I feel like I'm not allowed to do things for myself, or I'm not allowed to do anything but work on my small business. which is strange, but it's true. That's how I feel. Like if I'm not constantly working on my small business or crocheting or whatever, that, I don't know, something horrible is going to happen, or I'm not doing it right. And so I forget to let myself have fun and let myself just be a mom for a day, or a wife for a day, or just be Megan for a day and take off that small business owner hat. I don't know if any of you guys have ever felt that or have those feelings of like not letting yourself take care of yourself. Does that make sense? I think I missed a comment. Katie says, that's really great advice. Self-care is so important and is so much more than just getting hair done and nails done. Yes, exactly. Like, I think one of my very first or second lives that I did was about self-care, and how it's not just the fun stuff like getting your nails done or your hair done. Like, it's eating right, it's exercising, it's sleeping, it's allowing yourself to take those breaks, which I still struggle with. Like, I'm not perfect by any means, and I still have to work on actually doing correct self-care, which is why I probably start to feel burnout a lot. I'm going to say your Instagram name wrong, Tell Houston. I think most of us go through this. Yeah, I think so. And I think it's good to talk about it with other people. Like, that's one of my tips for like avoiding it, is find someone that you trust. It can be another maker, it can be a friend, it can be a family member that you can talk to about these feelings that you're having, because it's the worst feeling to think like, oh, I'm having all these awful feelings, or I'm feeling really run down, and then you look online, you're like, no one else is feeling this way. Like, everyone else seems to have it together, and I'm falling apart. So not true. Pretty sure everyone has fallen apart at some point in their life, or they're lying. And if they haven't, if they've got all their stuff together, send them my way, because I want to know what their trick is. Crochet to Play, Jennifer, I totally get that. I do this biz on the side of my part-time job, so I feel like I have to give all my extra time to it. Yes, especially because I want to be able to quit that other job. Yeah, I think, like, I remember when I was working full-time and then doing the side business thing, yeah, every spare second I had was going to that. And now that I'm doing like the mom thing full-time and trying to do this thing full-time, I find that like my business has kind of taken over, and I'm forgetting to focus on the other areas of my life that need attention, and I hate to admit that. Like, I feel like it makes me a really bad mom, but it's true. Like, I have that workaholic tendency, and I love what I do. I love this small business that I run, and I'm really trying to make it something great, but I have to constantly be reminding myself that like it's not a race, and I will get to where I need to be when I get there. Like, it's not like I have to get there by a certain time, or I have to be doing all this stuff. Like, I'm allowed to make it what I want and make it work for me how I want. Tell Houston, I joined the gym and met the nicest Christian women. We go to class 3 times a week. Awesome. I felt so bad at first, but realized I need that hour to detox. Yeah, I think that's the key too, is like having almost like built-in time for self-care, to take care of yourself, which for me is very hard because I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've toyed with the idea of like hiring like a babysitter or like a mother's helper or something, just so I can build in that self-care time. But that's awesome. I love that you're doing that. Okay, so I wrote in a couple ideas of like what to do when you feel burnt out, like how to get those feelings and that whole situation turned around. So number 1 is take a break. Whether you're feeling burnt out about your business, about your full-time and part-time job outside of the home, whether you're feeling burnt out about social media, whether you're feeling burnt out about market prep, or whatever it is that you're feeling burnt out about, it is okay to push the brakes a little bit, to take a break, take a weekend off, take a couple days off of Instagram. Like, don't even go on it. Don't post, don't like interact, nothing. It's okay. And I had to tell myself this too. If you lose followers, they're probably not really going to be great followers. Like, you don't want them around anyway. But most people they're not going to abandon you because you don't post every day. They're not going to abandon you because you're not on your stories as often. the world's not going to end if you don't interact on social media every day of your life. The world's not going to end if you take a day off and you don't work on your business for a whole day. Like, it's okay to take a break. And honestly, I think it's good to have those breaks every once in a while, because you don't want to get burnout. You don't want to have those feelings. You want to enjoy what you're doing. And yeah, not all of it's going to be fun all the time. But if you're having those feelings of like total exhaustion, or you're becoming cynical or just irritable, or it's not bringing you any kind of joy at all, like, you need to do something different. You need to take a break. You need to let go for a little bit. And sometimes just taking like a day or two off can be enough to rejuvenate you a little bit and get you pumped up again about your business or your life or whatever it is that you're feeling burnout about. So yeah, definitely number one is take a break. And then number two kind of goes along those lines too. Like, it might also probably be better as number one, but reflect on why you're feeling burnout. Like, for me, there's always some underlying thing. And so for me, it's like, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I so irritable with my family? Like, why does everything just seem so overwhelming to me right now? And a lot of times I can trace it back to the fact that I'm working all the time and I'm not taking any breaks. I'm not eating properly. I'm not sleeping as much as I should. And I'm just not, I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing in order to take care of myself. I'm not practicing self-care. So if you can figure out like what it really is, like pinpoint exactly why you're having these feelings or why this has happened, that can help you to fix it and to do something to change it so that you don't feel so overwhelmed and run down. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't know why. Sometimes it's just, I don't know, I just feel burnout and overwhelmed. And that's where taking a break can really help. Hi everyone who joined. If you don't know, we're talking about burnout. And we're talking about what to do when you do feel burnout. This is one of those things I do. I treat myself to a coffee because it's amazing. It always makes me feel better. Okay. The third thing I recommend is doing something totally unrelated to your small business or whatever, like whatever aspect of your life is burning you out. Do something totally different. Now for me, that's hard because I love what I do. I love crocheting. I love sewing. So for me, if I want to like, you know, get rid of that burnout feeling, I do something so different, something that I don't also do for my business. So like maybe I'll bake something, or maybe I'll go for a walk, or I'll go to a museum, or I go to Starbucks and read a book. So do something that has nothing to do with your business for a little bit. It doesn't have to be like an all-day thing. It can be like an hour, 20 minutes, something to take your mind off of your situation and your feelings. Like, and sometimes that can be enough to like, you know, flip that switch in your brain and just be like, oh, okay, I'm okay now. I can go back and tackle this thing that's causing me stress. So I don't know if you guys do the same thing. Like for me, I love all kind of artsy things. So even if it's like, maybe I'll paint, or maybe I'll do a cross stitch, or I don't know, punch needle, or something that's similar to what I do, but not something that I do for work, which can be a great thing. Rebecca, coffee is such a good friend. It is. Oh my gosh. I made like a whole pot of coffee today, and I've only been drinking like half of it. And then when I went to the grocery store, I had to get a Starbucks. It's been like hot today too. It does not feel like fall anymore. It feels like summer is back. So I needed something iced. But yes, coffee is always good. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth thing I recommend is asking for help. And throw up some hearts if you have a hard time asking for help, because I sure do. Especially when I became a mom, I felt like I had to always have everything together, and I couldn't ask for help because that was like admitting that I was failing somehow, which is so ridiculous and so not true. I've seen some hearts go up. So yeah, and sometimes like even as a small business owner, like how do you ask for help when it's just you? So asking for help can look like different for everybody. For me, asking for help means telling my husband, like, hey, I need a couple hours to myself, or, you know, I need to be able to, like, clean this room without kids here. Can you take them out for a couple hours or whatever? Or, but it took me a long time to be able to vocalize that to him and to ask for it. I don't know why exactly. Like, I don't know what it is in me that doesn't think that I should have help or thinks that I should be able to handle everything on my own. And so it's been a hard lesson to learn that, like, no, it's okay to ask for what you need. It's okay to admit that you do need help, because most of us do. And like I said earlier, like, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm considering either enrolling my son in some kind of, like, preschool, or you know, hiring, like, a mother's helper for a couple hours a week, just so I can have that time. Not only just to work on my business, but also to work on my house. Like, I feel like I need hours to myself just to clean, like, so that nothing gets messed up while I'm doing that. But yes, it's okay to ask for help. And you can ask, you know, a family member, you can ask a friend. I remember, like, when I was doing a lot more markets when I first started my business, I even enlisted the help of my friends. Like, my friend and her husband would come over and we'd all have dinner together, and they would basically cut out all the fabric for my pouches and my bags for me, and then I would be sewing, and we had kind of like an assembly line. And that was so great, and it was so helpful. And then when I became the stay-at-home mom and just stayed home by myself, I felt like I had to handle this all by myself. Like, this is my full-time thing now. I should be able to do everything all the time, 100% by myself. And then I got exhausted real quick. I got burnt out way too fast. So now I ask for help when I remember. But sometimes I don't. Still. Okay. Butter Biscuit Co. I think we should just be best friends. Yes, we should. I'm the worst at asking for help. Yeah, I am too. Like, even now still there are times where I feel bad. Like, I feel guilty. Like, I shouldn't need the help. But that's so silly. And I will say this to you guys, and I'll say it to myself because I need to hear it too. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong for asking for what you need. Because let me tell you, I need alone time. I need time by myself. And when I don't get that, I get burnt out. I get irritable. I get cranky. I get short with my kids. And it makes me not a very good mom, and probably not someone that anyone wants to be around. So, Jennifer, amen to that, right? And then your mom designs, Rebecca. I wish us mamas could all just find ways to swap childcare. Yes, to give each other time to ourselves. Okay, so yes, a couple years ago, before I think my daughter was like 2.5, 3. I had a friend, she's still my friend, but we would do that every Friday. It was like either her son came to my house and she got like the day to herself, or my daughter would go to her house and I'd have the day to myself. And it was the most amazing thing ever. Like, the first couple times I remember it being weird. Like, I was like, what do I do with myself? I have no kids with me. Like, this is strange. But the more we did it, it was like, that was my day to, like, run errands on my own, to go to Starbucks by myself, to go do my nails, or to just sit and veg and eat, like, junk food and watch TV. Because, heck, we all need that sometimes. But it was fabulous. So if you can find a friend to exchange childcare with like that, definitely do it. We can't really do it anymore because of our schedules and because I have an extra kid now that I didn't have before. And now our kids are in school. But that, like, it was probably about, like, almost a year that we did that, and it was amazing. So yes, if there's any mamas near me that want to do that, I am all about it. Because, yes, moms need breaks too. Our jobs are 24/7. We don't get time off. So any chance that we can get to help each other out like that is amazing. Yes, great idea. Dawn says, there used to be groups where I live called Young Mothers Club. They did things like that. Oh, that's so cool. We have a Mothers Club here, and I've tried to connect with people on there to do the same thing, and it just didn't work. It's almost like you have to know the mom really well before you can do it, and it's almost like your kids kind of have to get along too, because that's how it worked best for us. But that's really cool. That's so Lacey. I feel bad asking my husband to bring me yarn from across the room. No! Oh my gosh. That cracks me up because I feel like I'm always doing that. I'm always like, hey, can you grab me that thing? Because I'm just too lazy to get off the couch. Or if he's up, oh yeah, I know. Oh, and my husband says that we live in my workshop versus like I work from the home. Like our house is turned into my workshop because I have stuff everywhere. Okay, I'm gonna say this wrong again. Cabrazel. I wish it said like your guys' names right there so I knew. Oh my gosh, me too. Need alone time to recharge. Yes. Yeah, and I feel like that's my biggest that's the biggest thing I do to help with burnout is taking time for myself. Like before I got married and had kids, like I kind of liked being on my own a little bit. Like I liked having my alone time. I'm not the kind of person that has to have people around them all the time. And so yeah, that's definitely something that I miss having on a regular basis. And so I'm trying to work it out with my husband that like that can become a regular thing, but it's hard sometimes. Like, you know, weekends become more family time versus mom gets alone time. Nellie says, I like, come get these kids before, put them on your porch. Right? I know. I'm like, please, somebody take my kids for the day. They're really sweet, I promise. Most of the time. Jamie says, friends are hard to come by when you're a stay-at-home mom. Oh, friends. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It is kind of hard. Like, when I first moved here, like I didn't know anybody and I didn't know what to do. So I joined the Mothers Club and I met like a group of women there and we would do like regular play dates. And now that I've got like that small group of friends, I'm kind of like, I don't need any more friends. I'm good. But my poor son like doesn't have many friends his age. And then I met Christina of Nearmar Woods and so we hang out quite a bit. We just hung out on Friday. But yeah, it's hard to make friends as a mom. I think especially because so many people parent differently that it's hard to find those moms that you like really click with, right? That like aren't going to judge you for the way that you handle your parenting responsibilities. Lucky to live in your workshop. Sorted by pretty things and soft yarn, right? I know. I'm like, you get to see all this amazing stuff happen behind the scenes. So should be good, right? I don't know. I'm going to say this wrong too. Safaria229. I'm a working mom and it's hard to make friends. Yeah, it is. I'll be your friend, you guys. We can be online friends. Or if you live close enough, we can hang out. Yeah, it is super hard to make friends. Like, I felt like once you're out of school, it's kind of hard. Because, right, like school is just, like even college, it's like your friends are just right there with you. And then at work, like you can usually make work friends. But then now that I'm not working outside of the home, like, yeah, it's a whole new world. It's like dating. You have to like find your friends online. It's weird. Crochet Inks. My husband has a part-time job at night and I feel badly that I look forward to those nights because I get alone time. Oh, don't feel bad at all. I feel that way too. Like there are some nights where I'm like, I think he's tired, he's going to go to bed early, and then I can have the whole living room to myself, and I can do what I want. And anytime that he travels out of town, like he's going to France next week, and I'm kind of like, I'm already plotting like, ooh, I'm going to make brownies, and they're going to be all for me, and I'm going to watch these movies, and like, girl, don't feel bad. That alone time is like, it's hard to come by now, and it's worth it. Don't feel bad. I feel the same way. That's so Lacey. I'm like, no, I don't want to send your reports. I want to make a crochet pumpkin. Right? I know. I'm like that when it comes to like housework. I'm like, I don't need to do laundry. I'm just going to sit here and crochet. And that's what I mean. Like I'm kind of workaholic. Like I would much rather crochet and write patterns and do blog posts all day long. And I'll just ignore the fact that my house is a total disaster right now. It's bad. I was literally just wallowing in self-pity about this weekend. Oh no, don't wallow, just talk to us. Dawn says that and they don't get in your business or hobby. Yeah, my husband doesn't quite get it yet. He doesn't understand what I do. Dawn, we can be a tribe. Yes, you guys are all a part of my tribe. Yarn made, is it Yarn Made in Me? Making friends at stay-at-home mom is so hard. Yes, it is. They need mom.com instead of mash.com. Oh my gosh, you are a genius, Jennifer. Let's do it. Wouldn't that be so fun? You could like find mom friends. Oh, one time, I know we're like way off topic right now, but there was one time I did speed dating for mom friends. It was so fun. None of the moms I connected with actually turned into like actual friendships, but it was still really fun. Like, wouldn't that be so fun? I was like crazy. Like, you just met, like, I think I met like 30 different moms at this little, like, it was like in the bottom of like a bookstore. It was super fun though. Let's see. Every woman needs alone time. Yes, we do. My husband travels too. I get excited that I can eat whatever I want. Yes! Oh my gosh! Can we be best friends? You just like described my life. Yes, I buy like all the junk food. I buy like all the pop I want because he's not going to sit there and be like, should you really be eating that? I'm like, I'm going to eat whatever I want while you're gone. This is our $1 million idea. Yes! Speed dating was so fun. It was, okay, it was nervous. I was super nervous. I went by myself, and it was in San Francisco that I did it. But there were people from all over the Bay, and it was so much fun. Oh my God. I want to like host like a speed dating event. Oh my gosh, mom.com. Ah, I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. My after bedtime fourth meals are so freaking delicious. Yes. Oh my gosh, we are like soulmates. I feel the same way. Oh my God, I'm so funny about food too. Like, oh, I'm like already like, I know exactly like the brownies I'm gonna make that have like the icing on top. I'm gonna get all the Coke Zero I want. Oh man, okay. Anyway, back on track. Okay, so asking for help. Yes, yes to all that stuff. Okay, and then the last thing I'm talking about, no, 2 more things in that category. So how to like handle burnout. One is say no to things that are causing you stress. And this can be so hard. Like, I had to do this recently. So you have to be able to say no to things sometimes, and that's something that I've had to learn the hard way too, is like, I never want to say no. Like, it's hard to turn people down or turn companies down for things, but I've recently had to do it. A company I've worked with before reached out again, and I'm kind of on the fence in whether or not I for sure want to work with them again or not. But I knew like right now at this time, there is just no way. Like, I have way too much that I have to get done before November, that there's just no way that I couldn't give my best work, you know, and I didn't want to add any more stress to my plate. So I had to say no, not right now. And that's the thing. When you say no to something, it doesn't mean that it's a forever no. It can be a no, not right now. And I am a strong believer in, I don't believe that you're ever going to miss out on an opportunity that you were supposed to have. So if you have to say no to something, it doesn't mean that you're never going to have the opportunity to come back around. So don't be afraid to say, no thanks, or not right now, or I can do it, but not until this time. Which is why I said, I was like, it probably wouldn't be until December or January. And they were fine with that. So if I want to do that opportunity, if I want to do that, I know that it's there. But I just know, like, for me, I've had to say no to things, even though it may mean money, even though it may mean new followers or exposure, or it could be something great. But I've learned, like, I tend to be overly ambitious with my plans. And so I know that I need to like tone it down a little bit, and I need to plan things out so that I don't get burnout and I don't feel that stress. Natalie says, someone asked me for a bikini. What on my speed says bikini? No, yes, exactly. And I think that's something that's important too, is especially as a maker, like when people find out that you can crochet or sew or knit, they will come at you with every little idea that they think of. Like, I've gotten sent pictures of, you know, all like the popular trendy things that happen, like bun beanies. We've already talked about that. I do not like bun beanies. I don't make bun beanies. Or like shark slippers, or I don't know, just like those things that are like get really popular, like super trendy for like a hot minute and then they're gone. And yeah, for most of those things, if I get asked to do like a personal commission, I'm like, Nope. Let me tell you somebody who will. Let me point you in the right direction. And it's okay, because I just feel like whatever you do for a living, like whatever your work is, if it's your side hustle, if it's your full-time thing, you should get some kind of enjoyment out of it. Like, I don't think it should be happy fun all the time, because that's just not realistic, but you should enjoy doing it. So if someone asks you to do something like the bikinis, Natalie, like, it's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I don't do that. And it's okay to refer that on to somebody else. Totally okay. Let me see. Amen. What is for you is for you. Yeah. And if it doesn't fit with your brand or your business, or it doesn't bring you any kind of joy, it's just going to stress you out, don't do it. No is a complete sentence. Yes, it is. You know it's right for you. Exactly. Crochet inks. If someone tags me on them, damn umbrellas, one more time. I don't know if I've seen the umbrellas. Are they crocheted umbrellas? That's crazy. I don't know if I've seen those. The elephant rugs. Oh my gosh. Yes, those were like super popular like a year or two ago. Oh, yeah. And those are a lot of work. Oh, the shark slippers. Yeah. And mermaid tail blankets. Yes. Oh, the umbrellas again and the elephant rugs. Okay, you guys are going to have to send me a picture of these umbrellas, because I don't think I've seen these. Or I've been just totally oblivious to it. Like, I block it out. I ignore it. Natalie, I did that elephant rug once. Just once. Never again. Right? Yeah. I still struggle saying no, but getting better at it. Yeah, it takes time. It takes practice. Like with this company that wants to work with me, it's like, I want to say yes because I'm kind of a people pleaser, but I just knew like I would not have the time to dedicate to it right now. So I'm putting a pin in it, and I'm going to think about it, because I don't know if I want to do it or not. So I took the nice road. But yeah, the more that you are able to say no to things, the easier it gets. And the more that you figure out like exactly what you want your business to be and what your brand is, and the things that you want to do, the easier it is to just say no or push away other things that aren't in line with what your brand is. Yeah, I think it just takes time. It takes practice. So say no to some friends and family first. It'll get easier, I promise. Yarn Made Me, that linked hearts blanket. I don't know if I know that one either. Never again. Crocheted umbrellas. I've not seen these, you guys. I've not seen them. The fish in the bowls. Oh my gosh, right? Yeah, I saw this too, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not big on impractical things. Like things that I know will just end up in the trash in a couple years. I do like the amigurumis. Like some of them are just so cute and I like them. But yeah, I'm much more into like wearable things, or like bags or baskets, or like useful stuff. Yeah, you don't know what the umbrella bills are either. Okay, I'm not alone. I'm not alone, Molly. Okay, sorry, I'm like trying to keep up the comments. I started making character hats. I no longer make them, and they are so much work. A lot of pieces to sew on. It's a hard no for me now. Yes, exactly. Like I remember when I was doing markets in Illinois, my like second or third year in, another crocheter was like across from me, and she was doing some of the same things as me, but a lot of those character hats, and they were selling like crazy, and I felt like, should I be doing character hats? But it's like, no, that's just not me. It's not me. I don't want to do it. And I still am kind of unclear as far as like the copyright laws on those. Like if you're even allowed to or supposed to. Let's see, crochet inks. My favorite response is, I'm sorry, that's outside my skill set. Yeah, exactly. It's okay to say, I can't do that. Nope, I don't know how. The umbrellas are at crochetnow.uk. Okay, I'm going to check them out, because I'm like, I've never seen these before. Hi, first time here. Hi, welcome. Merino wool arm knit blankets. Sure, $500. Then crickets. Yeah, exactly. Like, especially like things like that we're just going to take forever. Yeah, it's okay to say no, especially if you know it's going to stress you out. And I have a hard time with that because I do tend to take on, like, I'll take on custom orders. Usually it's from people that I know, like from my neighbors or like family or friends. And there have been times where, like, honestly, I'll say yes and I'm just like dreading it the whole time. And that can cause me to burn out quickly too. If I'm taking on too many custom orders at once and I don't have that time to invest in my own pattern writing or in my own stock for markets or something. So yes, say no. Always a good thing. Okay, and the last one for what to do when you do feel burnout is get back to your why. And that kind of goes along with saying no. So try to look back and think, like, why did I start this business in the first place? Why did I start crocheting in the first place? Like, what is it about this that I loved at the beginning? And try to get back to that. Like, you know, for me, crochet has always been kind of like a creative outlet for me, something that I enjoy doing, something that brings me comfort and, like, I don't know, like, I use it kind of as like my therapy a little bit. And the reason why I started this business, this side hustle of mine, is to help other people who want to start a small business and help other people discover crochet and knitting and sewing and yeah, just create this community of makers who can help each other. And so if I'm feeling burnout and, like, just exhausted and worn out from everything, I try to always remember why I started in the first place. And if it's something that brings me joy, then I try to do something that just is for me, which is a big reason why I do that monthly make. So that's my time where it's like, if I'm feeling stressed, then during that month, I pull out my monthly make project and I just spend a couple minutes like, this is something that I'm going to get to wear, that I'm going to get to use. This is something that I've been wanting to make. And I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about writing down notes for a pattern or the stress of all of it. It's just something fun for me to do that I get to share with you guys. So yeah, that's what I have for what to do. If you guys have other tips or suggestions, feel free to write them on here, or you can write me later. And then we're going to hop into the last part. I don't really know how long I've been on here, so hopefully my time isn't too limited on how to avoid burnout in the first place. Hold on, I think I missed a few comments. Your mom designs. Googling crochet umbrellas. They are impressive, but purely aesthetic decor. Yeah. I'm so curious about this. I wish I had like another phone. I'd be Googling it too. Jamie Hooks and Heart. I said no to a vest that uses wool ease thick and quick. Supplies alone would be around $70. Woo! And she tried to make me feel guilty about saying I was trying to keep it local. You're trying to get it cheap. Yeah, I think a lot of times people don't realize how much things cost. Yeah, like my husband, he doesn't, I don't know. I'm making these holiday blankets right now. I don't know if you guys saw the first one, the 'Tis the Season one. So I've been like stocking up with all my Joann's coupons on the Pound of Love from Lion Brand. And my first blanket took almost 5, not quite because I had to use 2 different colors, but 4 of one color and 1 of the other one. So at normal price, they're like $11 a skein. So I mean, like $55 a blanket, and he's like, well, you're gonna sell them? And I wasn't planning on it, but I feel like the amount I'd have to charge someone for it, I don't know if that would sell. My plan was just to give them to my family, but we'll see. But yes, handmade does not equal cheap. Molly, I love that you do your monthly make. Oh, thanks. Especially if it is bringing you peace, joy. Yeah, it's something like, I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on it. So the one this month is it's going to be for September and October together, because I just did not have time in September. September went too fast. But yeah, I think that's always good. Like, especially when you turn something you love, like crochet, into a business. It's okay to do what people call selfish crochet or selfish knitting. Like, it's not selfish. If it's something that you love and it brings you joy and peace, like, do it for you. It's okay to take like an hour or so out of your day to work on something just for you. And I'm telling myself this too, because I'm the worst at it. Like I said before, I feel like I'm not allowed to do anything but my work sometimes, which is silly. Like, it's just silly. Northern Town Girl Crochets. I agree with Monthly Makes. Just started doing that for myself. Awesome. We do so much for others and forget ourselves. Yeah, it's so true. Like, I think a lot of times I forget that if I'm not taking care of myself, then I can't take care of my kids or my family. So it's always a good reminder to practice that self-care. Crochet to play. Sometimes just buying pretty yarn and reinvigorate you. You get inspired. Yeah. Yeah, anytime that I can like go to the cross store by myself, that's the best. That gets me excited about things. Jamie, a tip I have is to go back to basics. Make something easy that you enjoy making, like a mindless project. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, that's part of the reason why I really like testing for other designers too, is because it's not my project. It's not like, I love testing for other people because it does become kind of mindless. Like, it's something that, like, yeah, I'm taking notes and I'm doing all the stuff that I'm supposed to do for them, but it's, I don't know, it's a stress reliever for me. I love that. Dawn, $300 to $400 to sell them. You think so for those blankets? Yeah, I don't know if anyone would buy them. I was thinking of doing like maybe a sample sale. So like all the stuff I've made, if I'm not planning on keeping it, put it for sale. Like even if I just get my money back for like materials, I think I'd be happy. Your mom designs. It's a super thoughtful gift idea. I know, and I kind of already told my sisters that they might be getting one, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how they turn out. Okay, so let's move on to how to avoid it. So a lot of how to avoid it kind of goes along with the things that you do to get rid of it. So number one is take time for yourself every day / week, because let's be realistic. I think we probably all struggle with taking time for ourselves and for getting that time in. So even if it's just once a week, start with wherever you feel comfortable starting with. But for me, a lot of that means it's the end of the day. So like for me, those last like couple hours of the day, that's like my time. Or like when my husband's out of town and I'm eating my junk food and drinking my soda and watching movies all night, that's for me. But also, you know, when I do ask for that help and I do say, hey, this weekend, can I go to Starbucks for a couple hours by myself? I've never had him say no. He never says no. He's always like, okay, if that's what you need, you got it. So it's gotten easier. Like, I don't feel scared to do it. I just still sometimes feel guilty. Like, oh, I'm taking time away from my family, but I'm giving them good quality time with their dad. So it's all good. But try to do that. Even if it's something simple, like there are times when, this is a mom hack for you, if my kids are taking a bath, that's when I paint my nails, because I'm right there in the bathroom with them. I can keep an eye on them. They're playing and having a good time, and I get to do something for me. So I do like, I paint my toenails, I'll paint my regular nails, or I do like a face mask or something. So that way I'm kind of sneaking it in there a little bit, so I don't feel so overwhelmed. Okay, and then number 2 is plan scheduled times or days off where you don't work. And this is something that I need to work on, because I don't think I've taken a day off. Well, I guess for my sister's wedding I did, but scheduling that time in. So like, you know, I know some people that they don't post on the weekends for Instagram or social media. That's like, their weekend is their weekend. Like they work Monday through Friday, that's it. I have a hard time with that sometimes, but I've been trying to do that a little bit more, like taking the weekends as a weekend. Like Saturday and Sunday are my day to do other things. But scheduling that time off. If you make a plan to have that time off, don't crochet that day, don't knit that day, don't sew that day, whatever your craft is or your hobby is or your business is, don't work. Like fully take a whole day off. That can totally help you avoid getting those burnout feelings, because you're working it into your schedule. It's already there. Okay, number 3, get off social media. That's a big one. So this kind of goes along with, like, I also wrote down, stop comparing yourself to others. I do that too, and it's the biggest killer of joy. Like, when I find myself comparing myself to other people's Instagram feeds or their lives or their businesses or whatever it is, it's an instant like joy killer, just like that. And so I think it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to say, I'm not going to post this weekend, or I'm not going to post for a couple days, or, maybe I'm not going to do stories today. It's okay. Like, the people who are genuinely following you to follow you and enjoy your work and enjoy what you're putting out there, they're not just going to leave because you need a break. If anything, you're probably going to get people writing to you and being like, are you okay? Like, I know I always feel that way when I don't see someone in my feed for a while. I'm like, where'd they go? Are they okay? It's okay. It's okay to do that. And I think social media breaks are so good for our mental health. Like, it's just good to not have that screen in front of you for a while. I don't know if any of you guys ever take breaks. I'm trying to. It's a little difficult. I don't know. I still get nervous sometimes. Yeah, Lee said, I'm freaking knitting a sweater. Yay! Way outside of my wheelhouse. It's just for me. That's so exciting. I have been wanting to knit a sweater for so long. But again, I feel like I just don't have the time. Like, I really wanted to do the knit along with Chantel. But maybe another time. Soon, I will knit a sweater. Okay, do something different every few days to keep the creativity flowing. So that goes along with, like, the suggestion of, like, do something totally different than what you normally do. So again, that's kind of like you have to schedule it and kind of build it into your day. So, like, for me, one of those things is, like, so that I don't get burnt out on, like, when I do home preschool with my kids or the housework or just life in general. There's a museum by us that has, like, a free day every first Wednesday of the month. So we try to go that every Wednesday that they have it, because it's like a day that we don't have to do our normal routine. We can do something different. We can just go have fun and be together and learn together. So I try to do things like that, or, like, we'll take a day and go to the beach, or we'll take a day and go to another museum or to the zoo or something like that. But it can also be as simple as, like, I'm going to pick up and I'm going to paint a picture, or I'm going to color, or something like that. What's up, Em?
I can't find my puppy, but I need milk.
Okay, I'm going to be done in just a couple minutes, okay?
No, I can left my puppies in the car.
Well, we can go check in a couple minutes, okay?
Okay, can I go get it though?
Yeah, I'll go get it in a little bit. I can't go one time without interruption. But that's okay. So yeah, I think doing something to kind of, I don't know, I feel like it does something in your brain. Like, it's flips a switch. If I'm just, like, crocheting, and then I go and I knit for a little bit, it's like, I don't know, something changes in my head. Like, it's, like, re-stimulating, and it gets you, I don't know. Anyway, it gets me going again. So it might work for you too, but it can be anything. Just something that's not your normal routine, your normal thing, because sometimes that normalcy can kind of get you stuck and in a rut, and lead to burnout too. Let's see, I think I missed a comment. Yeah, that's so Lacey. One of the best things for my mental health, when I was in college, I didn't have any cables. Yeah, so I got used to not watching TV. When I got out of college, I never set it up. My husband and I don't have TV or internet for 3 years. Oh my gosh! I don't know if I could do that. TV is like how I relax. Like, I'll sit there and I'll be working, but if I've got the TV going, I don't know, it's like, I just need that downtime. Although I do feel like if I didn't have the internet, I'd probably get more done. I'd probably read more. That's my problem. I want to read more. And we have 2G speed on our phone, so we barely use them. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could do that. They're cute interruptions though. Oh, thanks, Molly. I listen to podcasts instead. Oh, I got really into podcasts a little bit ago, and then I kind of just, like, stopped altogether. I've been trying to either, like, listen to podcasts, or I'll listen to books on tape, so that way I feel like I'm still getting that reading time in a little bit, or doing something that's a little more stimulating than just, like, mindlessly watching TV. But I don't know. There's something about just watching a show at the end of the day, watching my program. I just need that. I don't know. Like, I can't go to bed until I've watched a little bit of TV. Is that weird? Maybe I'm just so weird. Okay. Another one to avoid it. Talk to a trusted friend. And do this regularly. So for me, I have my tribe, and you guys are all part of my tribe. So, like, doing these lives and, like, coming on here and talking with you guys is, like, that kind of fills my cup up a little bit, and that helps me not feel so alone. Like, I've had so much fun today talking with you guys about this. And I think just like being able to talk to other people about like frustrations that you're having or bounce ideas off of each other. Like I know for me, even today, like I was doing video chatting with Christina from Miramar Woods, and like we were talking about different things, and it's like I like having people that I can go to like bounce ideas off of and talk to, and then it helps me not feel so burnout if I am feeling burnout, knowing that someone else is like, oh my god, I'm right there with you, or like I felt that same way and here's what I did about it. But again, having that tribe, having that community is super, super helpful. Hey bud, did you have a good nap? Uh-huh. Are you gonna eat some pizza?
No.
It looks like you already did. Do you want to say hi?
No.
Oh no, he just woke up from a nap, so I think I'm almost done. I don't know how much time is left, but yes, exactly. Learning while you work. Yeah. I have a couple shows on DVD watch. I used to do that too. I have all of Sex and the City. I have like Big Bang. I have Modern Family like on DVD. Sometimes I'll pull those out too. Jamie says watching something that's not for kids. Yes. Oh my gosh. Grown-up TV. Yes. That's the best. Okay. So some other things to help avoid burnout would be getting enough sleep, which I know is my biggest downfall. I have been going to bed earlier recently. Usually I'm not in bed until like well after midnight. But the other day I actually went to bed like at 10 o'clock. It was insane. I don't even know what was wrong with me. I must have been really tired. Getting enough exercise. That's another thing that I have to work on too. Because exercising is a total mood booster. It gets those endorphins going. It makes you happier. It makes you healthier. So sleep, exercise, and eating right, of course, are all going to help you not get to that point of burnout. And again, a lot of that is self-care. So if you're doing these things to take care of yourself, you're less likely to have that stress build up and less likely to burn out in the end. And like we talked about before, learning to say no to things that don't bring you joy or that aren't in line with your business or what you're trying to accomplish and do. There's nothing wrong with saying no. Totally nothing wrong with it. And we all have to learn to say no more often, I think. Because yeah, it's hard. It's hard to feel like you're saying no to, especially when it's like a custom order kind of thing, you're saying no to money, but sometimes it's just not worth it. It's not worth the stress. And then the last thing is just to remember that you're not alone. That everybody goes through times of burnout and stress and exhaustion. And if you are feeling that way, it's not going to last forever. It will eventually end, and that you can do things to get yourself out of that burnout phase. So yeah, just know like there's a whole community of people on this little app, like all over the world, who I'm sure are more than happy to talk with you or just listen to your thoughts, your concerns, your opinions. I'm one of them. If you ever are feeling like totally overwhelmed or frustrated or whatever and you just need to vent, I'm your girl. I've got you. So just know that you're not alone and know that life is not a race. There isn't like a set like finish line. There isn't a set like point that you get that you've reached the maximum goal. And so don't feel like you have to be in a rush to do things, because that can kind of burn you out too, is feeling like you have to keep producing and keep making, and it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take your time. I've got about like 1 minute left remaining. I think I missed a comment. Jamie says, I stopped staying up late and going to bed with my kids and then trying to get up before them. Sometimes it works. Yeah, I still haven't gotten that point. I cannot get up before my kids. Like, I'm not a morning person. I can't do it. But yeah, this was so fun, you guys. I felt like we had some really great conversations here and great topics that came up. I will be doing a blog post for this live as well, so if you missed it or don't get a chance to watch the replay, either tomorrow or Wednesday I'll have the blog post up on my website, so you can read about burnout and how to handle it and how to avoid it. And yeah, as far as me, keep your eyes peeled for the next holiday blanket that hopefully I will have done soon. A lot of what I've been working on lately is like things I can't show you yet, but soon, I promise. And like I said, feel free to DM me anytime. I'm always here. You guys are all a member of my tribe, so don't feel left out. And I will see you guys next week. I had so much fun. Have a great week, you guys. Bye.